Good morning, fellow traders. It's Black Coffee Trader. Today is Tuesday, August the 5th. I did not get to trade yesterday, had internet issues, and by the time the internet was back, it was mid-afternoon, and I really did not feel like taking trades. And so we just protected our capital in our funded accounts yesterday and moved on to today. So here we are. But looking back here on Friday, we obviously had last week, Thursday, Friday, had the big pullback. Actually on Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday we pushed back out of here and definitely held this area on the NASDAQ down here around the 22,800s. And yesterday my thought was, are we going to see a move back down, or is this going to continue to push higher? And it has. And I would say as of this morning, things are looking pretty bullish. If you look at the low from yesterday, the blue line here is the low from yesterday on the NASDAQ, sitting around this big area in the 23,080s, really the 23,060s to the 23,100 was a big area that I've had marked for quite some time. This previous resistance right here turned to support. And so that's the low of day yesterday. And then the high of day yesterday, we have held, it's also at a fairly key area around the 23,300s. And we are above that in the overnight. So we held yesterday's high in the overnight. And to me, that's really, really bullish. So really the thought process this morning is, do we get pullbacks to that level and continue to push higher? That's probably what I'm going to be looking for. Not really looking to fade any of this yet. I really feel like we're probably going to see continued upside. Might need to add another level. I think there's a reasonable level right in here around the 23,580s, 600s, possibly even like a little bit of a range here around some of these previous highs. So really today just looking for pullback longs. If we do slide below yesterday's high of day, that could set up a temporary short, but we were shorting back down into the daily 20. And again, that's another thing that, in my opinion, is bullish. High of day yesterday, we've held it in the overnight. We're back above the daily 20. Things are looking quite strong on the NASDAQ this morning. ES, very similar picture, pretty much the same thing. What are the levels we're looking for? The high of day from yesterday, which is sitting right here around the 6360s. This key area right here around the 6353s. If we get pullbacks to that level again, looking for pullback longs, that would be good. Potential fades on some of these levels above, but it has to be pretty decisive running along with the NASDAQ. Really, honestly, really looking for longs more than anything on this market. As far as the Dow Jones is the only one right now that seems to be I'm a little cautious this morning. This is a major area that we have around the 44,430s. And we have seen significant resistance really from yesterday, and then in the overnight session, we have not been able to break through that level. So that is the only thing. And if we have a big slide on the Dow Jones today, that could have an impact on what we see on the NASDAQ and on the ES. So that is the only thing that has me a little bit cautious about the bullish move back up, is this major, you've got a big break and a retest of this 44,430. So I'm really going to be watching that this morning. We are below the daily 20. If we see a push on the NASDAQ or the ES, and we don't follow suit on the Dow Jones, and this starts to continue to reject in the New York session, could mean that we get some downside. Again, I am not like biased one way or the other. This is simply a watch, something that I will be watching today. Last but not least, the Russell, and again, this one is bullish as well. We did break through, push back higher. We are above yesterday's high of day, holding above the PPI area. And there's definitely some spots here, really around the 22,200s there that have some significance. We're also above the daily 200 moving average. Once again, we are below the 20. The daily 20 is sitting up here, but I would say things look pretty strong on the Russell this morning. So I think if we get kind of the summary of today is, if the Dow Jones can rally from this level and break through the 44,430s, if that happens today, I think it's 100% go time that we're going to be going higher on both on either the NASDAQ, the ES, and the Russell. So I think that's probably the long and the short of today. That's the watch, is what does the Dow Jones do? Does it push and break through this level, or do we continue to find resistance there? So that's the plan for today. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I am running late this morning. I apologize for that. So we'll keep this video a little bit short. But once again, have a great day. Thanks for following along. Appreciate you guys. Let's have a green day. Again, no trades for me yesterday. Maybe we can find a trade today and keep this green streak going. So take care. Until next time, so long.